Chandrika, you are the Vice President of the Humaniversity in Egmond aan Zee. But could you say in your own words, what is the Humaniversity?
Humaniversity is an institute for therapy and meditation. And it's an international institute. It means like we have people coming from all over the world, and they come. And that's also why we talk in English, and you're in the Humaniversity, even you're in Holland. It's a center that was founded by Viresh, who was working primarily in the beginning with addiction therapy. That's also how he got invited to work in the Netherlands. But then he founded Humaniversity, and it became like a center for personal growth, for trainings, for training in meditation, and also for training therapists, Humaniversity therapists.
And this center is a center that has Osho as, you could say, the beating heart of the center, right? He's very much present there.
Yeah, he is. But he's not so much present like in terms of pictures, it's more like in the hearts of everybody. Because most of the people, not everybody, but most of the people, they are sannyasins. We're open for everybody. And we're also a lot open for people who have problems. They want to come and they want to work what you call therapy on their own personal issues and growing.
Yeah. Now you have in the world, you could say, either on discovery, that you would like to discover yourself, or you're on recovery, that you are recovering from drugs or something like that. Which kind of people are you attracting?
We have both.
Both? Wow.
That's the special thing about the Humaniversity. You may start to work with recovery because somebody has really a problem, but why they have that problem is maybe because something is really missing in their life. Most of the time there is like a nourishing human connection missing. There is what you call awareness, so that you actually can nourish yourself is missing. And that's how some people come. And then they start to discover a whole new world of what we call consciousness or meditation. Holistic in that way, it means that you take the person as a human being with problems, with difficulties, with beautiful things. And Viresh, our founder, he would always laugh and he would say, people come and they have maybe big problems, but actually what turns out is that the big problems and the pain and the sorrow and the suffering is maybe easy to work through, but then to actually accept that you are a beautiful human being, that you're lovable, and that you're able to actually take in the nourishment that you need. That is most of the time even the more difficult part, which comes after you went through the darkness of your souls and your problems. Well, I think we just grow up with a lot of conditioning. And when you come in this world, you come maybe as a perfect human being, as a little baby, but then you have to adjust yourself to a society that's not perfect, to parents that are not perfect, who don't have to be perfect, to a school system that is not perfect, and you learn all kind of conditioning how to live within that world.
You start to imitate.
Yeah. That's how you grow up. That's how you educate yourself.
In your own life, how was that for you as a young girl growing up in Switzerland?
I think I was very lucky. I had very loving parents. And everything went really well till I was about 12 years old. And when I was 12 years old, my mother had a nervous breakdown. And it was like suddenly the whole family system broke apart. And the safety was gone. And it brought up a lot of questions like, what is life about? Why is my mother suddenly not the happy person anymore? What is going on? Who can help her? Where does it go further? What does religion has to do in that context? And that was a lot of questions that came up, and it was a kind of a difficult time. One thing for me was like, how can I help somebody who is in deep sorrow?
Like your mother?
Like my mother. How can I help her? And the other thing was like, what is life about?
Right.
I started to rebel a lot against school, about systems, about whatever I could find. and also against my parents and the family system. And it brought me to a point that I had to look for help, because I saw that I was not successful in my rebellion, because it was an outer rebellion. And so I actually was about 17, I started a psychoanalysis with a therapist. And this woman, she was really very fine. She guided me to find answers within myself.
Yeah.
And she started to help me to discover myself. And that I did for about 3 years, and then I went to study. And of course I started to study psychology because I started to get interested in becoming a psychotherapist. So I started to go from where I grew up, which was Aarau, to a whole different area of Switzerland. And I was there and I started to look, and I thought like, okay, I'm going to study psychology, I'm going to find the answers there. And I started to look and study, and I thought like, no, this is not it, I want to look further. And before that, a friend of mine started to interest me into yoga. So I thought, okay, maybe in yoga
You can find the
there
answers.
is some answers.
Yeah.
And I got across a book which had a sentence in it which really fascinated me. He said, the masters are always ready. Who is not ready is you. You have to prepare yourself so that your cup is empty, so that when a master comes, you can actually see him. And in order to go there, you need to start to meditate. So that's when I started to, just for myself, I started to sit there. I didn't know really what to do, but to sit there and just watch myself. And then I kept looking around for somebody who would know a little bit more and somewhere I had the idea it had to be Eastern philosophy or Eastern spirituality. And the story goes really funny. I broke up from my boyfriend. I had to find another apartment, and a former colleague, a student colleague, wrote it out. So I met him and I said to him, how come this beautiful apartment, you let it go? Where are you going? And he said, oh, I'm going to India. And then my interest was of course taken. And I said, oh yeah, where? He said, in Pune. Like, Pune, no idea. He said, in the Himalayas, because my idea was masters are in the Himalayas. And then we started to talk, and he started to tell me about the ideas of Osho and the philosophy and the meditations. And he got me with the saying that Osho brings in a synthesis of Western and Eastern approaches. And I was like, that's it, that's my thing. And then he said, and he's also integrating therapy methods in the traditional Eastern techniques. And I was like, wow, if what you're saying is true, I have to go there, I have to meet this man. And then he said, come with me, because I'm happy not to go alone, but I'm leaving in 2 weeks. So I was like, okay, give me a night. And in this night I was thinking, and I was like, if it's true that Osho is the master, that he is saying I should go now and not in 50 or 40 years when I'm finished with my studies and have a career and everything, maybe then he's not there anymore. And so I decided I go. And I went, and I came to Pune. I had no idea that everybody was in orange and mala and hippie-ish looking. And I thought like, oh my God, where did I land it here? And then I wanted to already go again and go find my master in the Himalayas. And then Sannyasin, he came to me, he said, oh, you're packing, where are you going? I said, I don't think it's for me. He said, did you meet the master? I said, no. I said, come with me, tonight is going to be darshan, you come with me. So, well, okay, why not? So I went there. And then I met Osho the first time. And it was so incredible. It was like, for me, it was like a whole new world just opened up. It was an incredible picture. I still have it in my mind. It was like the birthday of Osho. So it meant like everybody was there, and it was like coming around where It was like an open meditation hall, and all the sannyasins, they were in the middle dancing and jumping up and down. It was like kind of kirtan music, and in the middle there was like a little white person, and that was totally quiet. And everywhere around it was like all these flames of orange people dancing up and down and enjoying, and he was just in the middle. It was totally quiet and totally silent. And I came there and I looked at him, and then I looked into his eyes. It was like as if the world opened up. It was like, it was so much love and compassion and depths in it, that for me it was like, it was just like, wow, I never thought I would meet that, but it's here in front of me. And it's like I just went down and everything inside of me started to vibrate, and I came out, and it was clear. Next day I went to ask for sannyasin because I wanted to get the experience. I wanted to learn from that man.
And to get sannyas means that you actually go into the initiation and that you actually say, Osho, I am available to learn from you.
Yes, yes, it's like an opening. You do an opening, say like, yes, I'm ready to look, I'm ready to go on the path.
Yeah. First you was thinking to leave, and then by meeting in your mind the master, that you then feel, no, I have to be here and I actually give my life to this. I want to be fully present.
There was no doubt.
No?
There was no doubt. It was clear before that I was skeptic. I was very critical and I was intellectual. But when I met the man itself, there was no doubt. It was such a presence that he had that it's difficult to explain it in words, but it was such a presence and such a love and a vastness that it was clear I was looking for that. I didn't know what I was looking for, but that I was looking for. And from there on, I knew now I'm ready to take guidance. I think he touched something inside of me that suddenly got alive. And that was that meeting. It was like a familiarity that was suddenly there. I cannot say it differently.
It went beyond the rational mind.
Definitely.
That was actually the beginning of you in your quest of self-realization, of who?
No, I think it starts much earlier. It starts with having this question and this unrest of looking for something more. Just, it's like up to that point I couldn't grasp it.
Okay.
And when I met Osho, it was like, okay, it is a reality. It's not just something that I invent. It's actually a reality. There is a presence possible that if he could do it, I can do it, and other people can do it. It's a possibility. It's not that I'm there, but it's a possibility.
Yeah, an invitation.
An invitation to join the path. I didn't stay long in Pune because I had to go back to my studies. And I actually asked Osho, I wrote him a letter and I said, I found you now. I feel stupid to go back and study again, but what shall I do? I actually would like to just come and stay here and learn from you. And I got an answer back, and the answer back was, go back, finish your studies, do it as fast and as good as possible, and then you have space to come and to learn further. Actually, I'm very happy because when I went back, he gave me like the motivation to really do the studies for what they were and not look for something that is not there within the study of psychology. And so I actually got a real good motivation. I was very fast in finishing it up, doing all the exams, doing it as best as possible, and then to go further. I didn't have to mix it up anymore.
And then you returned to Pune?
I didn't return immediately. I mean, when I was there, he gave me different groups to do. So I did a lot of group work, which was mind-blowing for me because the group work had so much more opening than what you normally had in personal growth groups. And I did a lot of them. And it was just so much more rooted in consciousness and awareness than what normal personal growth techniques are. And so when I was ready to go back to Europe, he asked me, "Where are you going?" And I said, "To Switzerland." And then he said, "Is that close to where Viresh is?" And then whatever an assistant said, "Well, yeah, it's also Europe." And then he said to me, "If you go back, support Viresh." And he said, "And do meditations. Which meditations do you like?" And I said, "Oh, I like the dynamic meditation, I like the Kundalini meditation." He said, "Do both of them every day." I said, "Okay, fine." I went back, and then of course I didn't do the meditation because, you know, it's not so easy to find the right space and do, and you know, you had to also really get yourself going with it. And then I got a little bit depressed, and then my boyfriend, he said, "Didn't Osho said to you, you should do the meditation every morning?" I said like, "Oh, okay." And he said, "Well, I'm gonna do it now." So he would get up in the morning and he would start to do dynamic meditation. One time I was just like resistant and stubborn, and the second day I was like, okay, I join. So I did it for a whole year.
Yeah, and the dynamic meditation is a meditation that has also a very big part of
Yeah.
being active,
Yeah.
throwing all these conditionings out, shouting, screaming.
Well, it's actually really learning how to take energy into your body and how to stay present and how to be with yourself without going into all the different movies, but to actually just being able to witness.
Yeah, but for the people who see it, you see people screaming, shouting.
Yes, and going like who. It's like a mantra where you realign your energy and then you go into a stop, which is like another very very full silent stage, and then you go into celebration.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful meditation.
Yeah.
I think every stage of it is a stage of deep meditation, because you need to experience yourself in many different forms. You need to see where you're at. You need to see what is there. And I think the easier you accept yourself, the easier it is to go into catharsis or breathing, pumping energy into side of you, or to realign your energy. Whatever it is, it's like if you're total, that's the message, to be total. And it learned me so much about myself, how I sabotage myself with my mind. You know, it's like you do it and then you think like, okay, I cannot anymore, I'm too tired, I'm sick, I'm whatever. You find thousands of reasons why you don't continue, but you learn that it's not true. That's the amazing thing. You learn it's not true. And you can just stay with what is, whatever pattern comes to you.
If you keep practicing it, you can stay more centered. You can be more present with whatever happens.
Yeah, definitely. And you can enjoy your life more. Because a part of it is also to bring the joy. You know, after you cleared everything out, after you went into that silent space, it's like, what is there in life then to celebrate it and to enjoy yourself that you're here? That's a very important part of it. Also with Osho in general, that he said, celebrate life. You know, it's right now, it's here, celebrate it. It is extremely powerful. When I did it for 1 year, I could see how I changed.
Yeah.
I started literally to see myself and not believing all the concepts I had about myself. After 1 year, I went back to Osho and I was very proud, and I said, I did it for 1 year. It was very good for me. He said, okay, if it was very good for you, continue. And I was like, okay, he blew me again. And then I kept going for another 3 years. And I mean, really every day, sometimes even twice, just because I could understand that if I keep on going with it, I will go deeper and deeper and deeper. And it was a remarkable experience for me. I think you start to be more congruent with yourself. It's like not every idea that pops up or every judgment you get from outside, you get distracted with it. You can more stay within yourself, and you can more see what comes and what is there in life. You're more open. in that way. So you're also more open for love if love comes your way. You're more open for directing your life in a way that is good for you. And this openness towards you inside also becomes an openness towards the outside. And that's, for me, is very important. Like when you work with people in therapy, you need to stay open to many different people coming with different questions, different issues.
So when a guru like Osho say, be aware, it's just be aware, be there present, be present with what happens, with whatever happens.
Be right now, don't take it like as a preconceived theory that this and this you have to do. No, be right now here.
And if you are here now, being, then life becomes almost magical. You are fully present then, right?
Yeah, that's how it is. Life becomes really absolutely magnificent. You're available. It's also like you're open to actually see situations that are happening to you. I give you a little example. I can be in Amsterdam and I can sit in a beautiful garden and I can just be busy with that the traffic is disturbing me, that the sirens are going, that there is so much noise around me. But you're not open to actually also hear the bird that is singing, the wind that is moving the leaves, and that you're just present and you can actually feel the sensation of being in that moment.
This wisdom, it's still available. It's not like when Osho moved on and left in his human form this planet. It's not like there it stopped, right? It's still fully present.
I think this wisdom is like, one thing is that he left us all the meditation techniques, the active meditation techniques, which is a very nice concept because he said the modern human being needs to have something where you first move, you go into activity and then you go into silence. Not like what the tradition from the East is, where you just sit in silence, because we cannot. We are much too stressed in our normal daily life. So all these active meditations he brought, but I think it goes much further. You have all the recordings from the lectures where he talked, and they are so eternal. It's really incredible. You can listen to it, and you can listen to the same lecture for a year, and you will always hear something new again, because it depends on your openness. But apart from that, it's like he worked with so many people that he touched in their hearts, in their being, and all these people, they keep on living and spreading, like me, like other people. It's like they have, we call it sometimes the touched people. The people who are touched by his love.
You could say they have the fragrance of the same rose, right?
Yeah, something like that. And they keep, it changes with the form from person to person, but it still is the fragrance that you can smell.
And that fragrance is also to be smelled in Egmond aan Zee, where there is the Humaniversity. You offer still a lot of courses, you can do traineeship, a lot of things happening there. If I am watching this video and I think like, wow, what this woman is telling me, that is an opening in myself. What would be the first step to do if you go to the Humaniversity?
If you're a person that is living here in Holland, I would say come for a meditation, because on Monday, always at 5 o'clock, I do a meditation that is open to the public. People can just come. You pay a little fee, but then you do one of the meditation. It can be an active meditation of Osho. It can also be what we made further with Viresh. We made what we call social meditations, which is a little bit more interactive, but it has all the same fragrance. That's the easiest step to come. And many people come like that, and then from there they say, okay, I'm actually interested to make a course, to experience more. And we're also in the Humaniversity, we're famous for doing intensive workshops. You do a months long group, but intense. It's like from morning till night, and you do it, and it's like you forget about time, and you feel like, wow, it's just a journey into myself with a group of people where we go together. And when a person who had like a lot of sorrow and a lot of wounds then opens up, it's not only an opening up for that person, it's like for me as a therapist, it's like it's a wow factor. And it's not only that, it's for the whole community. And that's very special in the Humaniversity, because we're not just a weekend place. It's like we're a residential community, so many people, they live with us for a year or 2 years, and they actually, the whole community goes through a process. When I started with this Monday 5 o'clock meditations, we put a big sign outside, and we were always joking about it, and we said nobody comes from that, till at some point one of our neighbor women came over. She said, it took me 20 years to come. Can I do one of the meditations? And she opened up and she became a friend for me, a really deep friend. And that is what's happening also. But funny enough, she always says, when people ask me, what's happening with you? You're changing. I say to them, well, you go yourself and you find out. I cannot tell you. I make my process. So, yes, it is an opening.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I know we can make Osho's dream